Doctor said Earl shouldn't have been cleared for that fight, and that people knew about his neurological accident and everything. But Earl is a warrior. He needs to get his bag to protect him and his family. All athletes know the risks that they're getting into. So who are we to take the decision away from them? This your boy Upper Echelon. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe button. We've been hitting the hottest new live chat. Everybody's welcome to give their opinion. And you know, we just keep it real over here. Win, lose, or draw. Whether you like Bud, whether you like Spence, whether you like Boots. We just cover more than just those three fighters. We cover all the divisions, all of the fighters. And we have a group conversation. You know, you get to see different people's point of view of boxing because nobody's going to have the same point of view. And that's what makes us special over here. So if you like a great boxing talk and you want a community where you won't be discriminated against and where your opinion values, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification so you be know when we go live because we go live every day. It's your boy Upper Echelon. Let's get into this cook.
Thank you for having me on. I just wanted to kind of share, from this perspective, I've performed neurological exams on quite a few patients over my years. And when you're looking for somebody who's either had head trauma or maybe has had a stroke, even people with dementia, which is another form of neurological damage, there's certain things that you look for. And my wife, when she saw Errol Spence enter the ring, she asked me, she's like, he looks like he's on marijuana. And I told her, I said, he has residual neurological damage from his car accident that people have commented on this, but people, if you don't have the experience doing this, you're not going to pick up on it. So one of the things when you're doing a neurological exam on somebody, you look at, there's like a glassy look to a person's eyes when they have either a concussion or they have advanced stages of dementia. And if you compare video of Errol Spence before his accident, just do a little assessment on the eye exam of what I'm telling you. It is apparent. I mean, it is honestly, it is embarrassing how obvious it is that he's significantly compromised. So what I would say to this is just think back to what they did to Muhammad Ali when they let him fight with Parkinson's. People will let somebody get into the ring even though there's obvious issues with their ability to perform in a boxing match. So further evidence of this is listen to his speech patterns, start comparing his speech patterns before his accident to after. There is a distinct difference in his enunciation. I know part of that is because he has dentures, but even just listen to how he is formulating his words, his thought process. He's much, much slower. Now, another component to a sign of advanced neurological damage is a loss of balance. That's why as people age, primary cause of injury for older people is falls. And that's because as the nervous system degrades, the communication to the musculoskeletal system is also compromised. So a lot of the signs that people associate with aging as people get into the 30s in boxing or even sports, it's the first thing to go is your neurological system. So when people talk about timing, and if you kind of listen to what even Spence was saying, Spence doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just commenting that. He's like, oh, my timing was off. My timing was off. That is because his brain is not the same. Now, of course, you can add on to that alcohol abuse, sure. Dropping weight, water dehydration, of course. But he should have never been allowed to get into the boxing match.
All right, people. Most of us from some time have known Earl hasn't been the same. Everybody thought he was just more chill and everything, but you got to look at it like this. Errol Spence is almost giving his life to the sport. Any boxing match that he made after that car crash is a blessing for him and his family. Alright? This is probably the reason why Earl never took a tune-up fight, why he wanted to go straight to Bud fight. Because this was his big money fight. The fight that he done worked so much for, either him or Canelo. Errol done took lesser fights to make lesser bags. Alright, you gotta realize Earl is a warrior. And a warrior rather go out on their shield. A samurai, the greatest joy for them is to die in battle. And you gotta have that warrior spirit. You have to be cut from that cloth to understand what they're going through. Like, they don't want you feeling sorry for them. Apollo Creed and Rocky, he wanted to die on his shield. He told Rocky, don't throw that child in no matter what. It's about being a warrior. It's the guts and glory of it. I was a warrior as well. And I still wish I could go back to the warrior days. It's just something about the thrill of the battle. But Terrence Crawford caught Errol in the back of the head on right there by his equilibrium on the second round. He jarred Earl's equilibrium, and there was no getting it back right there because of Earl's neurological damage. But Errol, he fought through no matter what. Even though he couldn't get his balance, even though he couldn't get right, he still fought through like a champion, and he's a warrior. And we need to appreciate what he given us instead of criticizing what was happening. The man made money for him and his family. He want to keep putting all his kids through private school. That's going to run about over $10 million through 18 years. You feel me? This shit costs money. So Earl's doing what he has to do. It's called being a man. A lot of times men have to buckle up and go out and do what they have to do just to be a man. Men, we have to take the brunt of everything because that's why we're men. But I'm going to let it finish cooking, then we're going to get back to it.
Junior here to give opening comments. Errol, he's joined by his trainer, Derek James.
Hello, how's it going? A little off night. The better man won tonight. Not here to make any excuses. Definitely did the same. My time was off and I couldn't capitalize on a couple of things. And his time was a lot better than mine tonight.
Turn it over to the media for questions for Errol's.
5% water. So is the composition of muscle tissue. Now, the way people make weight, and for some people listening, I'm sure they know this already, but the goal is to try and pull as much water out of the muscle tissue. That is the only place you can really make a significant difference in weight. That's why you can drop 15 to 20 pounds in a week. How that is accomplished is primarily by depleting the glycogen, which binds water to it. So glycogen holds water in a 1-to-3 ratio. So 1 gram of glycogen holds 3 grams of water to it. When you pull the glycogen out, water leaves the muscle tissue. Well, what also happens is you start losing electrolytes. So evidence of this is anybody's ever watched a marathon race and they've seen a runner cramp up and have to leave the race. What has happened is that they burn through the glycogen, which is stored glucose. And then once that's burned up, the water has to displace the water out of the muscle tissue. It just moves automatically. When that happens, the last thing to occur is a movement of electrolytes. So your sodium, your potassium, your magnesium. Now this gets complicated. It has to do with water balance and electrolyte functions in the body. So that's it. The body has to do this. If it doesn't, the body will die. So when you're cutting weight on somebody, especially with somebody with neurological damage, the consequences are even worse because in the rehydration process, one of the last places to rehydrate is the brain. So when somebody like Errol Spence is cutting weight, it is going to exacerbate underlying problems that he has, which was evident last night. And I know people don't want to say this because people have been looking to this fight, but you're talking about somebody who medically should have never been. I would not have cleared him. If I was doing the medical clearance on him, I would have denied him.
I was going to ask you that.
Now you taking food out that man's mouth and you hurting his family. That man is a grown man and he understands what he has to go through. You got to realize this is the only thing that he knows. This is the only thing that he knows how to do. And he made good money at it. He gave up his body, his mind. He's given up a lot to get to this point right here. And for you to sit there and deny him the biggest bag of his career, of his life, for everything that he's given to the sport would be wrong. I know a lot of people say his health, but he's grown. This man, he knows the risk. Like, people take a bigger risk for a lot less. So you can't do that to that man. Like, if you remember the movie Any Given Sunday, Lawrence Taylor, if he would have got one more hit to his head, he could have died. Or never moved again. But he needed that one more tackle so he can get his $1 million bonus. Like, people have needs. Like, we can't get mad about it. He didn't make an excuse, so neither should we. We should respect his decision, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to cook after this right here. Make sure y'all hit that like and share and subscribe button, though. I'm pretty sure Errol done talked it over with his team, and they know what's going on, and they know the risk and the damages and the rewards of what could happen. So if they with it, then we should be nothing but with it as well. I mean, it's only common sense, bro. Like, come on, all these damn money and all this shit. Errol knows what's wrong with himself. His trainer, you know, Derrick James knows what's the problem. But whose decision is that to make? Errol was willing to fight Manny Pacquiao with one eye. He said, I got another one. That's this man's makeup. This is the way he's built. He wanted to get that bag from Manny Pacquiao. He was willing to risk losing his eye to get that bag for him. So what did you expect?
Must have seen this, right?
Of course, but as we know throughout history, even in professional football and in boxing, there is a financial motive, and not everyone is ethical. So they will find a doctor who is ethically fluid and will sign off on this. That's very unethical positions.
That's a great euphemism, by the way. That's a great euphemism. Ethically fluid, not compromised, not corrupt. Ethically fluid. Yeah, guys, what do you think about what Dr. 805 just broke down?
That's why Little Ellaby said that's the business of boxing. That's also the reason why Floyd Mayweather has changed his pick. That's why when they had that panel of coaches, them coaches picked Bud because they said that Earl has problems from the accident. People been telling us, but we didn't want to listen to them. Everybody sat there and said that they don't know how the accident would affect Earl. Well, that accident affected Earl. And diehard fans, we just didn't want to listen. We thinking Earl's still a machine. He's the monster. He's the juggernaut. He can't be stopped. But he's still human too. And he has taken vast amounts of damage. Not only did he get in that serious car crash, after the Frank Martin versus Michelle Rivera fight, Earl got in another car crash that totaled the other people's car. See, Earl has been in trauma after trauma after trauma. And then he spars all these rounds. You know, he spars between 16 to 24 rounds. That right there is also chipping away. It's like a dam with a crack in it. Soon that crack finally opens up and it's the size of a pinhole. Then after a while it becomes the size of a dime, penny, nickel, quarter, $50. Then it becomes the size of like a lemon. Then an orange, grapefruit, then the size of a watermelon until it all caves in and comes crashing in. And then you have a result like Muhammad Ali. But see, Earl knew the situation. He knew what he was facing. That's why he said, I got an excuse, but I won't make one on his Twitter page. That's why he said, I'm not going to make no excuses. Earl knew what he was getting into. And he was man enough to accept it. You know, there's consequences behind every action. He's just fortunate enough. Every fight that he got after that accident is a blessing. Because that's revenue he gets to add to his family and everything. That's why he also said, I'm going to start doing more to the community. Because Earl's not about to fight that much. I said it before. Earl has about 2 fights left. I said he got Bud and he got Canelo. Those are his paydays. The Canelo fight may be off the table. Plus, I think Jermell Charlo, he's working off super strong. He's going to get Canelo and do it for his homie. Because seeing his homeboy gut it like that, you know, he knows it's a limited time out here. And see, that's one thing about boxing. You have an expiration date. It's a limited time for you to strike while it's hot and get as much money as you can. Because one shot could kill you, one shot can leave you permanently brain dead, one shot could mess you up. And it's a gladiator sport. You know, a fisticuffs or people fighting fist to fist, people can end up dead easily. It's happened. We've seen people knock people out and they die on street fights. These are trained professionals who practicing the art of knocking their opponent out. Your brain is not meant to get hit. Your brain is not meant to get knocked out. It's called blunt force trauma. You can die, or you can have permanent scars. So for anyone taking the risk to get in the ring, I salute them. I commend them, because you don't play boxing. You can't play around. You have to be fully focused. And if not, then you need to get the hell up out of there. Once you feel like you can't perform at your top peak, you shouldn't do it no more. Floyd Mayweather, one of the best that ever did it. He realized that he couldn't compete with these younger fighters. He got the hell out the way. Now he does exhibition matches with people he know that his skills are far, more superior to, that he ain't got to worry about really taking much damage. Floyd was smart. But Errol is a warrior. He knew what it was. No matter what, we can't take nothing away from Bud Crawford because Spence knew what it was before he got in the ring. Just like Gary Russell knew his shoulder was messed up when he got in there with Mark Masayo. But I'm pretty sure if they do get a rematch, that it'll be a lot better at 154. His brain wouldn't be as depleted. He needs to get more brain food, but it's a degenerative disease. It's getting worse over time. So that year layoff that he waited after the Ugas fight is steady and progressed and got worse. Plus the sparring didn't help. But if Errol, I would like to see him get the rematch, get the bag for him and his family, and then hang this shit up. Even though he got enough right now from this Terrence Crawford fight, but his pride and his warrior spirit, he needs another shot at it. He needs another shot where he's stronger. But hey, this is Up Islam, man. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Y'all make sure y'all join the channel because we have great boxing debates, great boxing forum, and everybody is welcome to speak their piece. We're not like the other channels, and like I keep it all the way unbiased. You know, I'm an Errol Spence fan, but I'm also a fan of boxing, and I'm also logical. I call balls and strikes. The worst moment for me in boxing was when Roy Jones got knocked out by Tarver. I still don't like it, but I love the sport of boxing. I love the fact that I was able to see greatness go down like that. Just like I love to see the fact that I seen Bud, you know, ascend to a new height. I can at least say I was there to watch it. But peace, blessings to everybody. And if you watching the video, man, y'all hit the subscribe button. You know, I come out with this heat all the time, and I cover every boxer, not just Spence and Crawford. You can check the archives. I cover every boxing, every fight night. I cover it all. You know, because I love the sport. And if you love the sport too, you hit the like, share, and the subscribe. I'm out.